Good afternoon. Welcome to SMTV Live. Thanks for joining us on this Halloween day. I'm Duncan Gilman.
And I'm Brandy Powers.
We actually did have some costumes for you. I put a little picture of them up on the screen here. Right. So this is wonderful. I love this. This is Brandy as YouTube. I'm YouTube. YouTube girl. Yeah. And this is me as a monster Mashable,
which is super cute play on words.
I love you. Yours was so creative, though. Brandy actually designed this box with the cutout and the images. So definitely look for this image on Splash Media's Facebook page. Absolutely. You'll be able to get a better look at it.
We had fun.
I want to talk a little bit about some a little bit more depressing news that we heard about. We'll come back to Halloween. Sandy, of course, is
still
all in the news.
The East Coast.
Absolutely, and we hope everybody stays safe.
We do.
Who's affected on the East Coast by Hurricane Sandy. And just like in the past with other events in the news, we've seen brands take advantage of this for better or for worse. In this case, for worse, American Apparel and Gap were the latest culprits of using sales talking about this tragic event that's affecting people.
Right, we're going through a national emergency on the East Coast, and their primary concern is sales.
Right, this American Apparel ad, in case you're bored during the storm, 20% off everything.
It's awful, and then they highlight the areas that are affected by the hurricane. Like, okay, so my question to them was really, did you think that with no power and no lights that I would even be able to see this ad?
See this ad,
right? To even know the sale's going on.
Yeah, and then Gap's example. It's ridiculous. Let me scroll down here to see Gap's tweet. Gap's tweet was, now it started off nice.
Started off okay.
All impacted by Sandy and the use of the hashtag, which is fine. Stay safe. Then we'll be doing lots of Gap.com shopping
right
today.
Into sales. And it's like, isn't it the same tweet?
It's the same tweet. Separate these tweets. It could be a separate tweet, and it would be a lovely gesture with that one tweet about staying safe, those affected by Sandy.
Right. Show the empathy first in a separate tweet, and then get to your pitch.
It's, you know, we tend to label these as fails. Not all of them, it's a little harsh. Not all of them are social media fails, but they're in bad taste. I think it's very safe to say these are poor taste to do.
We would just hope that some more companies would watch us here on SMTV and just hear about how to avoid these fails.
This is what to avoid.
This is why we do this show.
A little bit happier news now. Of course, today is Halloween.
Right.
And Sendable posted some great Halloween tips, things to do, creative things. And you know, a lot of these are common sense if you've been doing social media for any length of time.
Right. Like, so the hashtags around the events,
like
Halloween hashtags. And we're showing ones for Halloween right now, but just keep in mind as we progress through the end of the year, there's going to be many more opportunities with the first day of winter, Christmas and Thanksgiving. So just keep these in mind. But great ways that people are using them for Halloween right now is photo contests.
Those are perfect because you've got things like the jack-o'-lantern, the kids' costumes, which people love to see. You could do recipe contests, all kinds of things with multimedia.
Great ideas. Pinterest, I think, would be a really good
platform
avenue for that, right? Yeah. So it's exciting.
I would love to know what you're doing for your Halloween post, so be sure and let us know. We're here to help you out with your social media campaigns or answer any questions you may have about Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, your blogs, or Pinterest. Whatever it is you're working on, just let us know.
Right. So you can email us your questions to questions@splashmediau.com, or you can always tweet them by using hashtag SMTV questions.
Let's take a couple of questions from our viewers. Paula has a question for us. Paula says, should my company post relevant content even if it has nothing to do with my business? Perfect question for talking about things like posting about Sandy.
Awesome question. So to answer your question, Sandy, the answer is absolutely yes. We so often talk about as businesses, our sales pitch, our products, our services, about us, but utilize information that everybody's talking about, just relevant information such as holidays, like we just talked about with Halloween, or seasonal changes, or even sports. There's a lot of different things that you can talk about to not purpose them just toward pushing your agenda, which may be sales or somebody coming into your storefront, but also talk about things that are just, you know, not necessarily random, but that everybody's talking about. So yes, you should definitely be posting that type of content.
Especially if you can tie it into something that relates to your environment.
Right.
So let's say you're a local business with a couple of stores that are just in Texas.
Okay.
Post about Dallas Cowboys or something related to
or
your
Big Tex
region.
being on fire last week.
Big Tex being on fire.
Right.
I mean, there are lots of things that you can take advantage of if you're a local business that happen in your area that you can talk about that has
Very
nothing
good.
to do with a competitive business,
Right.
nothing to do with your competition down the street. That's totally neutral is the word I was
Very
looking
good
for.
word,
Yeah.
neutral. That is
Yeah.
the good opportune word to use.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, so Matt wrote us and asked us, how can my business benefit from commenting on YouTube videos?
Well, besides the surface way of benefiting, which is just interacting with another brand or with an influencer, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that, and it's just a matter of commenting like you would on Facebook or replying like you would on Twitter. But you can also take it a step further and do a video response, which
That's
gets
great.
you even more traction because when you post a video as a response to another video, YouTube links, assuming it's approved by the original creator
Of the original video.
YouTube links those two together so that your video might come up as a recommended video to watch because it's related.
Right.
I'm on YouTube now and I just clicked on a random video. It's an episode of this this show, Jon Favreau's show here. And if I wanted to make a comment, I could just type my comment here. I'm assuming you're signed in as your own channel.
Right.
And I could say, great video or whatever I wanted to type as my comment. But I could also instead create a video response.
Right.
And what it does is it pulls up a list of my videos, or I can upload a video right from here, and I can use the selected video as a response. So this is so useful. In fact, speaking of Big Tex, let me give an example from an SMTV show. When we talked about SMTV last week and mentioned Big Tex, the fire and catching on fire, I found another video from a news source on YouTube mentioning the same story. So I took our SMTV episode and I used it as a video response to that news story, which already had, I think, probably hundreds or thousands
Of views already.
Right. So now it links those together, and now our SMTV episode has hundreds of views.
That's so exciting. You're so smart.
It actually does work.
Yes.
I mean, that's the best thing is when you do these little things like this, every little thing in YouTube adds to your value.
It does.
Adds to your business value, and they actually work.
They do. Very, very good
Cool stuff. Want to thank you for joining us this Wednesday for our live broadcast of SMTV. Thank you for sending in your social media questions, and keep them coming. And remember, this afternoon we'll be posting the picture of Brandy and me in our Halloween costumes, in addition to some fun Halloween Splash-O-ween stuff we're doing right here at Splash Media. For Splash Media, I'm Duncan Gilman.
And I'm Brandy Powers. Thanks for being with us today, and have a happy and safe Halloween.